Hey man, this podcast is sponsored by Lysol, okay?
It's not spraying.
It's not spraying because I've used so much because y'all nasty.
Premature, like,
oh, this one's spraying.
That one does spray.
I
can see it.
If you can't see it.
That I can't see.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Get ready.
The podcast is sponsored by Lysol.
This is sponsored by Lysol.
Pay
us. Pay us and wash your damn hands.
It's also sponsored by Corona Beer.
Coronavirus! What you can't touch. Avoid the coronavirus.
Wave it.
Man.
Avoid the coronavirus.
Welcome everybody to the Ring Generals podcast. My name is Nick Nenad. Alongside me is Easy E Eric.
What's cooking, guys?
And of course, Mr. Lysol himself, the RKJ man.
Let's talk that talk, y'all. Hypocritical Nick. Hold on. Hypocritical Nick.
Okay.
What's good?
We gotta
I'm prepared.
Hey,
Right?
gotta clean the. It smells really good around here now.
Does, yeah.
Hey man, coronavirus is running wild like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, brother. It's running wild.
Like cocaine, right?
I don't know what that means.
It's running wild like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, brother.
But we got a great podcast for you. We got a great podcast for you today. We are going to be talking about WrestleMania. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania, whether it's happening or not at the specific time it's happening, because the city of Tampa Bay is going to be deciding whether it's going to be postponing certain events. Thursday, this podcast will be released Wednesday. And so we're going to discuss a little bit right here in the beginning what we think about the possibility of WrestleMania being postponed, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And we're also going to talk about the rest of the pro wrestling world, specifically here in the United States, and what could happen to those promotions if a WrestleMania is canceled. Later on, we will also go over the overall booking of WrestleMania and what the hell WWE is doing, and whether we're really even excited about WrestleMania compared to essentially every single other year.
Can we say the coronavirus is a blessing?
It could be.
Can we say God sent us the coronavirus so we wouldn't have to see Goldberg versus Roman Reigns? Can we say that right now? Thank you, Jesus.
Well,
Thank you,
it's
Jesus.
only going to be postponed, so we're eventually going to see it, but it just might not happen on April 5th. The city of Tampa, like I mentioned at the very beginning, they're going to be deciding whether WrestleMania essentially is going to go on. We've seen Coachella and other bigger events than WrestleMania already postponed. Not canceled, but postponed. WrestleMania, it would be extremely interesting if it was postponed, because that's really never happened. I mean, even 9/11 didn't postpone any pro wrestling, so it would be unprecedented to see an event this big that has storylines being built toward it being canceled.
I think WrestleMania 2 was supposed to be in the LA Coliseum. That got moved because I guess there was low ticket sales. I think there was an issue with WrestleMania 9. I think that was supposed to be somewhere in a bigger place, and it got moved.
Was dates moved though?
I don't think dates were moved, but I think it was just venues that were moved.
Venues like WrestleMania 6. They were advertising about how they were going to have WrestleMania at the LA Coliseum, but then they moved it to.
Those were the good old days where they just decided when they want to have WrestleMania.
Whenever.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Wild West.
You could get away with that, but here, right now, it's kind of like. You kind of want a refund after that.
Yeah, well, but it's not entirely possible that WrestleMania could be postponed because something like Coachella, which obviously has a way more people that go to it, but that has already been postponed all the way to October. That is normally an event that I believe happens in May. So
April.
It happens in April?
Right after WrestleMania.
Okay, so it's around the same time, even better example.
Even Ferguson in April. Wow, a lot of good stuff is coming out.
Yeah, but see, there's a lot of other stuff that can be canceled. You know, we have NBA games every year, we have NHL games every year, we have Raw and SmackDown and NXT and AEW and Impact Wrestling
NWA.
that all go on every single week.
With fans.
Yeah, with fans.
Thousands of fans.
I mean...
And imagine in about a month or so we could be seeing Raw or SmackDown with no fans at all.
It's probably better than it with fans, because the fans don't contribute anymore to the show. Watch the Elimination Chamber paper.
Well, in their defense, Elimination Chamber sucked.
It was terrible.
It was one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen.
Here's the thing. It was just a house show. It wasn't even a glorified house show.
I didn't know about it until one of the guys from, I don't know who it was, but they said, "Who's ready for Elimination Chamber tonight?" And I said, "Wait."
By the way, as a fan, who wants to go to Elimination Chamber? You got a big eyesore in the middle of the ring. You can't see anything.
Also, people in the corners.
You can't see anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go. That's the one you got to watch on TV.
Yeah.
I agree. That Punjabi prison match, which I heard was horrendous to watch it.
All right, let's talk about
But yeah, let's get back.
Pretty sure he's going to be featured in that Ruthless Aggression dunk.
Let's get back to WrestleMania.
Jeez.
So obviously,
cancel that too.
we have the Ruthless Aggression show.
Cancel that.
Is it not good?
It's just a whole. I was entertained, but I'm just seeing a whole bunch of stuff that's the same thing that I've known for years now. Give me something I don't know.
It's more for the new generation.
We did draw on
I
it,
guess.
though. Yeah.
So I've known all of this.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the FCW.
Yeah, I heard Roman Reigns had a cringy promo on FCW. Like,
still has.
We all have cringy promos.
Yeah, but they're scripted. It's unnecessary. Okay, but so obviously we have a WrestleMania card that is very controversial.
Oh, damn it. Not
And
we
spray you.
What are you doing?
I'll spray you.
Okay.
I'll spray both of you. I'm getting coronavirus.
We are not sick here. So if you want to meet the ring generals, go ahead. We'll shake your hand all day.
Oh, I'm not shaking your hand.
I'll get sick because of the rain.
I'm doing this.
I mean, I'll get sick of the rain, but not virus. I don't think so.
But all jokes aside, obviously, it's craziness going on here in the world. But what would be the true impact of WrestleMania being canceled? We can make fun of it, and we can say the card isn't built well, and Goldberg and Roman Reigns it'd be great if that didn't happen, or if all these other matches on AJ Styles. But there's 70,000 people that have bought tickets for this thing. People plan their entire years around this thing. We planned half a year around this last year when we went to MetLife Stadium. How big of a deal would this be if they postpone WrestleMania to any portion of the rest of the year? Give your take and then I'll give...
Yeah. It would be a financial nightmare. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm on board of saying this right now, ahead. I think WrestleMania is going to get postponed, okay? So that puts them in a situation. So either it's going to get postponed, or Vince is going to have to run WrestleMania with an empty stadium, okay? Because the fact of the matter is this. Why would he have to run with an empty stadium? Because WrestleMania is a global event. They always market it as a global event. They said it last year. All 68 countries came, and then 50 states came last year for WrestleMania. That's a hotbed for a virus if I've ever heard one. That's a hotbed. And think about all these nasty people in our everyday life who don't wash their hands. Okay, y'all people are nasty who are watching right now who don't wash your hands or don't take showers. I want you to pause this video, come back to it, and take a nice long shower or wash your hand for 20 minutes. Okay, y'all are some nasty people out here. I've been in multiple bathrooms multiple times and seen multiple dudes walk out of the bathroom, just wipe their hands and just leave. No washing of the hands or anything. You're touching your butt. You're touching your face.
Never mind.
You're touching everything.
Never mind.
And then some of y'all are having sexual relations too and not washing your hands. It's
okay,
disgusting.
But get back to WrestleMania.
It's disgusting. Here's the fact of the matter is this, okay? That is a hotbed for a virus if I've ever heard one. It's going to be a financial nightmare for the WWE, which is why they don't want to cancel it. But this is not in Vince McMahon's hands. It's not. It's the city. It's the CDC. It's the World Health Organization. Vince can get on the phone with Trump, his good buddy, all he wants to. But the fact of the matter remains is this. This is not in his hands. We've seen Democratic situations with the Democratic debate having no people. That's going to have no people in it. We've had the Ivy League tournament got canceled for NCAA. People are talking about having these NCAA tournament games with no fans.
It's already a bunch of them.
The media is being limited in how they interact. Yeah. Like the NBA is talking about, has already sent out a memo and said, hey, we might have games in the future, even playoff games with no fans. Like this is a big concern, and I'm sorry to say this, Vince, but you might have to postpone this thing because this is a bigger issue than just professional wrestling and you making money. This is about lives being at stake. This is about a major illness that people are concerned about. Could be something like the Black Plague or the bubonic plague back in the Middle Ages. This is what people are concerned about right now.
Well, I mean, postponing would have to be probably the better solution because really, for Vince McMahon, like you said, he has no control over this virus, and the state, or should I say the city, does, in a way, put control and decide what to do with WrestleMania. Although it would be a blowback for some of these fans who have bought their tickets, already planned their trips, already said and state that, hey, we're going to go to WrestleMania, we're going to have fun, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to see all these great matches, whether we disagree how the booking is or agree to the booking. The fans are still going to go out there because it's a global phenomenon, and there are a lot of people that we have met over WrestleMania where they come from different countries, from England, Australia, Europe, maybe China as well. So they all came from this global event. I mean, we've met most of them out there at MetLife Stadium when we were trapped out there for rain.
That'd have been great. The coronavirus wouldn't have.
Yeah. So
the coronavirus would have spread wild that night.
Yeah. So with that being said, a lot of these events like the soccer games and some of the hockey games and even the NBA are right now being postponed. Even events like Stagecoach and Coachella have been moved as well. I wouldn't be surprised if WrestleMania is going to be moved to a different, I don't know, maybe a different month, or they might push it back to the end of the year during a pay-per-view that is not going to sell at the end of the year. Something like that.
Okay, so talking about your two, just kind of banking off your guys' 2 points, because you guys very well put. The one issue I have with yours is Vince runs a show in Saudi Arabia, which is way more highly contagious than the United States. He just did that a couple weeks ago, and he talked about safety. I'm not blaming you for your opinion, but Vince McMahon literally ran a show after the government killed a journalist, so I don't think he gives a shit about safety.
But that was in Vince's hands. This ain't gonna be in his hands.
But if they keep it there, he's not canceling. He's not supposed to.
Well, aren't they under contract with Saudi Arabia, that Saudi Vision?
They're under contract.
Oh, no, but I'm saying for WrestleMania, if Tampa on Thursday, or whenever they decide to announce...
This week or next week,
If they say, WrestleMania is going to go on, Vince ain't canceling it. Vince is money hungry. He's not going to cancel it.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But if he's forced to postpone the show or have it with empty fans, you're 100% right. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to watch it just for the showcase of, what the hell is going to happen. What's this going to look like? What a waste of effing time.
What are you going to do? Show fans from around the world?
They'll show, shots from, last year's us in the stands.
But whatever happens, do not cancel Khabib and Ferguson. Do not cancel it. That's been canceled too many times.
They're just going to have an empty arena, and it's going to end in one round anyway.
UFC already fights with blood on the ring and stuff like that. There's no way they can cancel.
Well, you get to hear the smacks and the grunts, and you can actually hear what they actually say. Because
I feel like UFC could actually survive a no fans, because you're right. This hearing of somebody get kicked in the face or something like that is just as good as watching with fans. Fans obviously make it better, but you watch some mid cards and stuff.
The crowd is the more overpowering voice. But
so I personally I think it'd be a complete disaster, to use one of your terms, if WrestleMania is postponed. I do in the sense of the booking, which we're going to get to really quickly. The booking has been kind of last minute in some ways, or out of nowhere with the whole Goldberg thing. And so I think fans themselves, let's say if it was postponed just 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, into early May, I don't think fans would be that angry about it.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Too. Double or Nothing.
Well, yeah, but it's before. They run it. I think they run Extreme Rules around that. They're Money in the Bank.
What time do you... So let's say, for instance, in a couple of days now, say WrestleMania is getting postponed. When do we think when do you think we're getting WrestleMania? I have a date. I have a date in mind that's going to be perfect, won't interfere with
it's not going to be anywhere near SummerSlam.
No.
I think they're going to have to do it in
June.
July.
That's
June
SummerSlam. June's perfect. Yeah. The NFL season's still not going on, because you got to think this is a big stadium. You can't move WrestleMania into a
although
arena.
Isn't June kind of too close to the whole still coronavirus hysteria or all that stuff?
No, I think if it wears down by
you can't postpone it twice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we should be concerned then, because Double or Nothing's also in May. So...
Well, but the one thing about Double or Nothing, though,
you should get concerned about Double or Nothing.
But this is what I'm saying about Double or Nothing. I want to get to this, too. This is part of this. So we could just transition off WrestleMania, but Double or Nothing is just in an arena that they run every single weekend. That arena is not much bigger than the ones they already run. So are they going to cancel all TV, too?
They wouldn't cancel TV.
But so what's the point of canceling a pay-per-view for the sake of canceling a pay-per-view?
Because it's a hotbed for a virus, because you have people from all around the world coming over. That's the reason. For WrestleMania. People from all around the world.
About Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. I mean, if this hysteria gets even worse, where they're demanding, where they put a mandate out where groups of 1,000 or more can't gather in the same place.
They did that in San Jose. The Sharks games are going to have no fans.
The Sharks games aren't going to have any fans, which is going to play a huge impact in their race in the NHL. So, I mean, this is something that we need to really look at.
Yeah.
F San Jose.
We're SoCal guys.
Yeah, we don't support the San Jose Sharks down here.
No.
But so this is something we need to look at. But when do we think it's getting moved to?
You say June. What do you say?
I want to say July, even though it's close to SummerSlam, but they might postpone SummerSlam and move it. And probably
it's not SummerSlam anymore. It's Winter Slam. It's called Winter Slam.
Autumn Slam.
It's Autumn
Fall
Slam.
Slam.
I don't think.
Fall Brawl. Bring
the
that back. They got the rights.
They're not gonna They're not gonna postpone and move the whole calendar back. They're just gonna move WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania happens. Yeah, you're right. The NFL is a tough one to compete with.
And if you do it in an arena, that's going to make WrestleMania seem small. You don't want Roman Reigns to win a championship in front of 15,000 people. You want him to win a championship in front of 80,000 people.
WrestleMania on Fox on Friday. No.
You know what? You know what's funny? This is going to give Vince more time to actually negotiate with these Amazon and Fox and whatnot. They'd be like, okay, we can just push it back to this time. They could be the first major event after the coronavirus.
The stock is dropping on WWE, and they are not in a good position.
And the stock was dropping before the coronavirus.
Stock is dropping everywhere.
They just got sued too. That's a manipulation about the Saudi event. Apparently, Saudi Arabia is not paying WWE. And the people that are investing are saying, well, where's that money that we invested in your company because you have the Saudi deal?
They think some statue's going on to XFL.
Can we please get the Saudi shit out of here? Like, it just messed up WrestleMania, essentially. Like, stop it. I'm looking literally right into the lens, like hardcore. I'm going to zoom in when I do the edit, too, to my eyes. Stop with the Saudi Arabia stuff. The fans don't even give a shit when they're going over there. They have no idea what's going on. Okay? There's a reason.
I saw a dude in the stands with his phone out the whole entire match.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw people with masks on.
They should have threw a guy over.
And if you got masks on, you go into an event like that, you need to stay your ass at home. Okay? Because you could have coronavirus.
Here's my answer. I have no idea where they're going to put WrestleMania. No, October maybe.
That's a terrible time right in the middle.
Put it in Antarctica where there's no people and actually have polar bears.
How about this? Do it in October. Do it on Saturday. Don't compete with. Why do you have to do it on Saturday?
You're competing with college football.
College football is not as big as WrestleMania is. College football is not as big as the NFL.
College football.
You have to do it on a weekend day, but UFC competes with college football.
I disagree with that, but look. It's going to be difficult for them to move it because WrestleMania is always so June is the best month. It's summertime. Kids are getting out. It's my birthday. Kids are getting out.
Of course, that's why.
I mean, hey, we go to WrestleMania for my birthday. Look, but kids are getting out of school, so you're gonna have a lot of kids over there. That's perfect. I mean, we have all these things. Like the first thing I noticed with the WWE thing is, the Bella twins not appearing at WrestleMania Access, and I'm like, okay, so if they're concerned about this, then something's getting ready to happen.
You said Bella twins?
Yeah, the Bella twins.
Wait, give me 1 second. You guys can keep talking.
Oh boy.
He's
gonna pull out something.
So when are we gonna get John Cena to induct the Bella Twins in the Hall of Fame?
Never.
And Daniel Bryan?
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince McMahon song "No Chance in Hell"? You can just play that.
For that part, right?
This podcast is also sponsored by the Bella Twins.
There you go.
You can look, but you can't touch. Avoid the coronavirus. Avoid the coronavirus. No more coronavirus.
Jeez. It's been, quarantine, right?
Hey, thumbnail.
We already did a thumbnail.
I think you just did.
I got multiple for you.
Or just in case.
This podcast is off the rails because we're all sick.
No.
Yeah, we all have the coronavirus in our brain. Okay, but so...
Why she's getting
to kind of end the discussion on the coronavirus, just because I don't think we have much else to talk about with
Hashtag
it.
the coronavirus.
It's going to be interesting, and if they do have to postpone WrestleMania, even the placement of where WrestleMania is, you guys are right, it's very tough. And you can't do it really next to the...
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to think about doing it on a Saturday if you do an NFL season. You guys said June and July. It's gonna be interesting. But we'll find out, and we will update. We will do a special podcast if it indeed is postponed. If it's not, you'll just get to watch this.
Or if there's no people in the stadium.
Yeah, if there's anything serious that's going to go on with WrestleMania, you will see another podcast likely tomorrow, or it's already out. So check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out.
Pritchard's in there, the only topic.
Yeah, exactly. But so let's move on to, let's get back, no coronavirus talk really with this. Let's just get back into the booking of WrestleMania before all this coronavirus threat even
More excited about the coronavirus than that.
We just had Elimination Chamber, which was essentially a waste of time. The aftermath of the Saudi show got some of our best views of a podcast in the last year because of what happened with Goldberg.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Ryan Rance came back and it was furious.
For all the wrong reasons, though, to be honest. And so, WrestleMania, it feels a little different. And I know there's the competition with AEW, but it's not really that, to be honest. I don't think about AEW right now. I think about how bad WWE is. And when you watch Monday Night Raw, they continually have main events of Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, which nobody gives a shit about. SmackDown, my God, have those shows been bad. The only thing okay in WWE right now is NXT, and even that's kind of being put over the top to compete with AEW. So nothing really is going right. Guys, what can WWE do if WrestleMania isn't postponed to kind of get all of our interest back, to think about WrestleMania the way we should be thinking about WrestleMania? Eric, give your thoughts first.
Whatever is going to be said around here, it's not going to change how these wrestlers are going to be able to have their matches being at WrestleMania. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. Whatever we say and whatever we do, whatever kind of criticism or critique we're going to give, it's not going to get through. Sure, the matches, it's good to see Edge back. I get it. And rekindle a feud with him and Randy Orton. I kind of want him to extend on that. Something along the lines of Edge saying, you know what, I know that you and me are partners, but I actually want to put him out of his misery. Like Orton would say, I want to put him out of his misery because I thought you retired, so I didn't finish the job. I just want to finish you off for good, so you don't want to have to show your face ever again.
I thought he already kind of said that.
Well, extend more on that.
Said to his wife and then put
his wife, but actually on Edge to Edge, which is good though.
Well, here's the thing. So it's funny. You jumped on the one thing that I don't think anybody's complaining about. Edge and Randy Orton has been one of the best feuds in wrestling, to be honest. And Edge has not showed up for a month. That's how good it's been, because Randy is such a goddamn great performer. Yeah. And is still top 5 in my book as far as guys that can get over out of nowhere.
Well, it's smart. It's smart to keep Edge out of the picture for Raw to actually make us want to see him more. That way, you can make Orton just be a complete dick, on Raw. So that way Edge can get back and he can get back and beat him again, or try to give him what he deserves. Edge. That's why they keep him outside. They want to keep him outside for us fans to see him. Hey, bring back Edge. I want to see Edge. I want to see what's coming for Orton, So that can be taken away. Undertaker and AJ, I like the fact that AJ is poking at Undertaker.
Mark Calloway
poking at him.
Mark Calloway,
what a promo, though.
I mean, he did make a point about...
He brought the thing back. I thought it was dead to rights, this storyline.
Yeah. He made a good point about the fact that I thought Undertaker was completely gone. That's how we're going to remember him back a couple of years ago when he put the hat and his trench coat and his gloves in the middle of the ring and he left. We all thought that he was gone, and then he came back.
I'm glad you actually brought up the good things, because we do kind of tend to shit on WrestleMania as of right now, and there is some good stuff. Like you mentioned, Edge and Randy Orton is awesome. Mm-hmm. The AJ Styles Undertaker stuff got a lot better after AJ Styles' promo, and then they're gonna have sounds like a contract signing this next Monday. So that should be
signing with the Undertaker.
It should be interesting.
He's done it before.
I feel like there's gonna be a stipulation to that match. I don't know what it is.
Hell in a Cell.
I'd do better than because AJ Styles said he's gonna kill him.
More like an I Quit match.
AJ Styles said he's gonna kill him. So the only way that you can legally kill a guy in professional wrestling is
Undertaker would need to put his career on the line.
He's done that many times.
Undertaker would need to put his career on the line.
Wow.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, if he does that, then people are gonna still complain because they're gonna say it's predictable because AJ's not losing or AJ's not beating the Undertaker in this type of situation.
I don't think he's beating.
I think the Undertaker's getting saved for the Fiend. I think the Undertaker's going to get retired.
Apparently, they're also planning something for his 30th anniversary at Survivor Series, so this will not be the last...
it's been 30 years.
So the way it should be, to be honest. Yeah, Undertaker still beat him, too. Mm-hmm. He avenged all his loss. And here's another thing, too. The John Cena Fiend stuff. Here's the interesting thing. After all we've seen, and how bad the Goldberg was thing. At least they explained it on Friday that Bray Wyatt, he's avenging. It's not something random that Bray Wyatt essentially gave up on the Universal title, which makes Goldberg look a lot worse, but essentially pinned himself. He gave up the pin, finger poke of doom style, and essentially, didn't put over Goldberg's finisher, which is, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
Bray Wyatt,
the Fiend is still intact. He's not completely destroyed and buried. At least he's able to attach to John Cena and use what he had back in 2014 as a way to avenge himself and say, I'm going to get you back because you embarrassed me a couple years ago, so that way I can get back at him.
So the Fiend has lost all of his steam. And the reason why is because him having that championship going up against John Cena, it just adds that extra little excitement, momentum to that matchup. But, now we see a Fiend character who's completely been ruined. Even when they had the Fiend go out the other night, you could see the Fiend actually going to the back. The whole mythological thing with the Fiend is dead.
They also, real quick, I was during the Elimination Chamber, The Undertaker obviously made a comeback against AJ Styles for the second time. First time being at the Saudi show. On WWE's Snapchat, they had a fan's video of when the lights went out, Undertaker essentially getting out of the ring to go into the ring. Like, come on, guys. All you need to do is just not put that Snapchat on. Put the actual video of him doing the stuff, because you can't. I've never seen anybody go onto the ring.
This is where you
on live TV.
This is where I gotta be careful because obviously social media is a big thing. We all want to be in. We all kind of want to do things with that, but yeah, the WWE social media. Come on, you gotta be smarter than that. You gotta be smarter, and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to go into too much about that. But you gotta be smarter than just showing a man.
I do.
Go on. You know what I'm saying?
It's usually really good, and this time it sucked. But it's just like they're picking the perfect moments to suck. It's just WWE as a whole. This is why we're talking about this. The booking, the overall production has either been hokey, unrealistic, predictable, or shit like that, where they're literally giving away the kayfabeness and the realness of what is going on?
Isn't it funny how WWE likes to have on their website 10 or 15 bad storylines from WCW and ECW, and I'm like, okay, guys, why don't we do a little bit of your countdown?
Yeah, how about the last?
Why don't we do
the top 15 would be the last 2 weeks.
You guys talk about other companies, so why don't we talk about you guys?
Yeah.
Huh?
Look. you didn't ask me about what we could do, what I think the WWE should do, right? What I think the WWE should do. This is what I think they should do. I think they should get rid of Vince McMahon. You know what I think they should do? Get rid of Vince McMahon and get rid of all the old people that are associated with the wrestling business. Take a break for 3 months. If we're going to have this coronavirus thing, take a break for 3 months, quarantine yourself, get new people in there, and restart fresh in 3 months. That's my thing. Let's cancel WrestleMania because the storylines suck, not because of coronavirus. Wow. It's terrible.
And Santa is real.
To some people, Santa is real.
Here's the one thing. But here's the one thing about that. There are old people.
Santa, wash your hands.
There are old people directly involved with AEW right now. We just saw Jake the Snake Roberts show up, and they're doing a good job.
But who is the core? Who is running that AEW faction? It is young minds. It's Tony Khan, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Brandy. Who else? John Moxley, Chris Jericho. Okay, Chris Jericho's a little older.
But there has been an influx of older talent that you would kind of... Arn Anderson was associated with WWE for a long time.
Yeah. But you also need old minds who think new.
Here's
old people who think new. Arn thinks new. He thinks in today.
It is a good thing that you brought that up because you know how Jake the Snake Roberts came to AEW last week and the NWO showed up on SmackDown. Basically, Jake the Snake Roberts didn't DDT Cody and bury him. Unlike SmackDown, you had the NWO show up, which, for me personally, guys, them showing up and burying another guy like Sami Zayn, or like attacking. Well, what are you thinking? So all these old guys, a lot of these guys from the reunion, and these mid-carders from the past, and calling them legends.
Yeah.
And they're basically smacking at guys like Sami Zayn or Elias. It's almost like, okay, you guys don't need to bring in these old guys. At least AEW, at least they're bringing some of these old guys that and aren't burying some of these new talents like Adam Hammond Page or Cody or MJF. You know, that's
and Jake the Snake Roberts is going to bring somebody to take out Cody.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I'm glad that this ended up developing because I wasn't going to talk about AEW, but AEW is using the older talent to, you're right,
build new stars.
Put over the younger talent. Or older talent. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like even if they're putting over Chris Jericho, it makes more sense than putting themselves over for no apparent reason for a cheap pop. The NWO thing is a good point because although they didn't physically bury Sami Zayn, the kind of intimidation factor, which is ridiculous because we know Kevin Nash can take his knee out and he's done. And Scott Hall, after his drug abuse and alcoholism, there's no way he could physically fight anyone.
X-Pac was there too.
Well, I think X-Pac's always been the younger one and more agile one. And here's the thing. I wouldn't mind Sean Waltman being involved in a match at WrestleMania because we have not seen him wrestle in a long time, and he's the most realistic. But the whole point of having these older guys come back just doesn't make sense. You know, Sean Waltman, I think he's younger than Chris Jericho. So I think him coming and doing something that is special makes sense.
Does Sean Waltman look like he want to go back to wrestling?
He kind of looked like it in the ring a little bit.
Does he look like he want to go back to wrestling? I think he's enjoying his life doing his podcast and doing his other stuff.
Oh, by the way,
X-Pac 1-2-3-60, very good.
Oh, and by the way, if we're inducting the Hall of Fame, let's induct everybody into the Hall of Fame. You know, why just...
How the hell did Sean... I love Sean Waltman. I feel bad for what happened to him earlier. But how is he a two-time Hall of Fame?
Hey, question for you.
Come on.
I got a more important question, and this is going to create controversy. Why are the Bella twins in there before Christian?
Everybody's brought that up.
Why? I have a very good answer that I think will completely... I think Christian, they're hoping for a return. I think they're trying to get him clear. Yeah. If Edge can come back, Christian can come back.
Well, Vince called the Bella twins about it. So
the Bella twins are also gone, and they're officially retired. Yeah. Christian, I honestly think he's not officially retired yet.
The Rock has not been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. The Bella twins got inducted before him. The Bella twins.
The Rock is not technically retired. That's the thing. Like the Bella twins, we
all know that it's pretty much unspoken. True. Unless he comes back next year in LA.
I think that's when they're going to do it.
I mean, he comes.
You think
WrestleMania in Hollywood deserves The Rock in the Hall of Fame?
It needs a Rock match. I thought it's The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
It still means he should be in the Hall of Fame that year too. Though. That's what I'm saying. He could be in the match.
If it's Rock and Roman Reigns, then somebody's going to play the heel role. It's going to be his cousin, Roman Reigns.
We know The Rock can play heel.
Oh, we know that.
Oh, yeah, The Rock can play heel too.
Just be Hollywood hot.
Yeah.
Rock
can be heel. He can be heel. Yeah.
So getting back to the whole
ice cream.
Getting back to the whole story, like it's just. You know, I don't like doing these podcasts where we completely shit on things, but I just kind of feel like it's been a couple weeks in a row now where the stuff has not improved.
We're not excited about WrestleMania.
Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch should be an insane match, and essentially just a match on the card. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair versus an NXT superstar should be the biggest thing, and it's kind of underwhelming.
Well, we all know who's winning that one, so yeah.
It's debatable. They really have a love affair with Charlotte Flair. I think
there's something going on there, Vince.
I think anybody can win any match with WWE right now. You know, they're flip-flopping the Intercontinental Championships. The United States Championship has no meaning, essentially, because they put Andrade in a match with multiple people almost every single week for the U.S. title.
They basically have a whole three-way going on between Humberto Carrillo, who is getting like 80 million chances at the United States Championship, Rey Mysterio, and Andrade, and Angel Garza. I'm sorry, it's a four-way. It's a fatal four-way.
Well, we all know what's going to happen. Once again, predictable. Not necessarily going to complain about that match, because that match will probably be
stay tuned for
awesome.
that episode. Stay tuned for that episode. If WrestleMania does exist.
Yeah. We don't know when that's going to be.
We don't know when
that episode is postponed.
Yeah.
That is postponed.
Okay.
To be announced.
But so and then look, so we're like, okay, we're on the road to WrestleMania, right? We have SmackDown on Friday. We'll probably see a continuation of John Cena again, older superstar kind of coming in. He'll put over the Fiend, Jesus. Obviously at WrestleMania.
Oh man!
But I'm down.
Go to AEW. John Cena.
The one thing about John Cena though,
go to AEW.
The one thing about John Cena is he'll do a good job. Like I
respect John Cena a lot more now than I did 15 years ago.
They just should have. They shouldn't have done the thing with Goldberg. But I don't. I feel bad for John Cena and the Fiend because this match really should be that awesome, and it probably will be and steal the show. But we're just not, for some reason, as excited about it. But to be out all this, what's happening Monday? For no reason, Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there.
Oh, because it's 316 day.
Who gives a shit?
Hey man, Stone Cold showed up and say WrestleMania is getting postponed.
I know you love Stone
I love
Cold Steve
Austin and all, but it's really like, is there a reason why he's there?
Because they need cheap ratings. You know why? Because we have not established stars. How many times have we been saying this to you, WWE? And how many times your fans
so
for 10 years now, since John Cena was dominating everybody. You've got to build new stars fast. And now they're doing it with Roman Reigns. No, build new superstars who can replace
Roman's
Roman
already built. You don't need to build him anymore.
So you know what's going to happen, right? If Roman Reigns sustains a massive injury, they're screwed. They're screwed.
Yeah.
They're screwed. These people don't seem as big anymore. Seth Rollins was on Big Boy, and I'm like, I could care less.
Seth Rollins sucks. Like, as a
Seth Rollins in that
character.
interview. By the way, what do you guys think about that interview with Big Boy?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't really watch it. I mean, he could be. He could be.
I don't. You know why? I didn't watch it. Not because you sent. You sent to our group chat. I didn't watch it because I don't give a shit about Seth Rollins.
It could be.
That's why.
He could be an essential heel with him and Kevin Owens. He's just got to make the rivalry more personal. But it feels like it's like an artificial.
Plus, they've
kind
been
of heel
feuding
here.
since December, and we need to get rid of this feud, man. Mm-hmm. Like, when is Kevin Owens going to get his win? You know, so I guess we'll wait till WrestleMania, pal. Yeah. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen.
It happened on the pre-show, probably.
Go to NXT, guys.
Hey, he always treats Kevin Owens bad. Remember the second match, WrestleMania
here's the other
33.
problem. So, the 5 matches booked right now are Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, which will be good. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. John Cena versus The Fiend. And Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. None of that stuff's going to be on the pre-show. So what's going to happen is we are going to have a deserving match once again on the pre-show, which is just shitty. We're going to have someone like that. The Fatal 4-Way is probably going to be on the pre-show.
I bet you the SmackDown Women's Championship is going to be.
What about
on
the Battle Royal?
Pre-show.
The Battle Royal belongs in
the pre-show.
It belongs in
mid-card
hell. Mid-card hell.
Yeah, but is it like is Braun Strowman going to be in the Battle Royal again?
Where do you put the?
Yes,
where do you put the statue?
God.
Wouldn't you guys like actually win the statue? Where do you guys put it? Like in your room? Like
up my ass. I don't know.
Hey, I just want to let you know that Braun Strowman is the millennial Big Show. He is the millennial Big Show. Big, tall, strong, should be booked like a complete monster among men, like his name is, and yet he's booked terribly. Horrifically.
This is so... It's so frustrating.
It's very funny. He lost to Sami Zayn. In a fluke.
I mean, good for Sami Zayn. It was 3-on-1, though. It was 3-on-1.
Who cares?
So, it's...
If you want to get heel hate, then you want to like win dirty and beat a guy like Braun Strowman.
Look, man. Man, there's nothing really good about WWE right now on the road to WrestleMania, and that's very frustrating because this is a time when everybody's looking at wrestling now. A lot of people, the ratings suck. They're horrible.
2.1 yesterday.
On the road to WrestleMania, they're terrible.
How much did they lose in stock? How much did they lose?
Millions, billions.
Bro, think about this. If AEW, watch Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts might be only $1 million below Raw or SmackDown. That's crazy.
You know what's frustrating
That's
now?
crazy.
I'm so frustrated. AEW's putting on these phenomenal shows, these phenomenal matches, these phenomenal pay-per-views, and they can't hit 1 million. But yet Raw gets 2 million.
It's
SmackDown gets 2 million.
It's because people like us gotta end up watching Raw because we're just hoping to get better.
John Cena, please go to AEW so we can have another wrestling room and Vince can get off of his lazy
fans
butt.
who've been tuning in to WWE for a long time, they always say, oh, we're hoping to get better, to get better, to get better, to get better. Like every 10, 15 years, and then all of a sudden they get better. You know, fuck this. I'm not watching this shit.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
He hasn't said the F word on our podcast in so long.
Can I ask you guys this is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
It's a great
I didn't actually say it this time.
Yeah.
You did. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. I heard this report. It's kind of a little bit off topic, but I heard I heard Vince McMahon is reportedly questioning Triple H because of NXT inability to beat AEW in the ratings. He's questioning his leadership. Do you guys think that there's any truth to that?
This man
is
I want to be as nice as possible.
Because he's
a complete idiot. Like this guy, I don't care how much success. Maybe he's senile, and maybe the writers like Bruce Pritchard and them are getting in his ear, but he doesn't know shit about the wrestling business anymore. He really doesn't. He's ripping up the script completely before shows. The stuff that's being put, I get it's supposed to be kid friendly, But it's kid-friendly with bad booking. Like, here's the thing. Kid-friendly is what we've been watching for a couple years now before AEW existed. WrestleMania was fine last year. Yeah, the main event ended up being not that good because Ronda Rousey broke her hand.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. Becky needed to win anyways. The Kofi match is one of the best matches I've seen in WrestleMania.
Made everybody cry.
In the last decade.
I was crying.
Yeah.
It
was awesome, and it wasn't just awesome because we were there, people we talked to. It was great, right? But Vince McMahon just doesn't know what he's doing anymore, and for him to question Triple H, I'm not going to answer your question because there's just no validity to it. Triple H clearly has a better mind than Vince McMahon, and I don't even want to give Vince the benefit of the doubt of thinking that he's right. Eric, you can answer the question. I'm not going to answer it because Triple H clearly has a better mind. I was just about to say this. I'm actually glad you brought that up really quickly. I'll let you talk. I saw something that our boy JD from New York put on social media yesterday. He said that when you look at the views of videos for AEW stuff and NXT stuff, AEW is almost tripling their views on just videos on YouTube. So the reason that NXT isn't succeeding is because they're competing with AEW. And the reason AEW is not getting 1 million plus viewers is because there are these idiot viewers that are watching NXT for some reason over AEW. NXT's great, but it's not better than AEW, and it's a lot more, fake. I'm going to use the word. It's a lot less realistic in some ways, and it's kind of the same shit over and over again. I love AEW pay-per-views, NXT pay-per-views. NXT takeovers are awesome, but when every show is like that, it gets old. Okay? It gets old.
I'm starting to actually believe, because I remember we did an episode about Vince McMahon having report him saying that I'm going to keep running WWE until he hopes that he doesn't die if he runs WWE, and I really feel like he's going to end up in his deathbed, or in the other scenario, he's going to use a mechanical robot.
He's going to be a hologram.
His robot's going to rip up the script.
It's going to rip out the script.
Yeah, and he's going to transfer
that robot.
And transfer his head to that robot like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, or maybe have a heart transplant. Yeah. That could happen. So, yeah.
I've seen some crazy theories out there about succession plans. I've heard that Vince actually doesn't want to give it to Triple H and Stephanie. I've heard that rumors has it that Vince actually wants to wait until the kids get old enough, his grandkids, so he can give it to them. It's crazy. I've heard those theories.
He's like the Yoel Romero of promoters.
Well, Yoel Romero
can keep going even though he sucks.
Well, Yoel Romero, I mean...
We can talk about it. No, it's two bitches. But look, the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this.
Well, you said that about Wilder.
Look. The only way this thing could get better is if we have a massive overhaul at the top, meaning all the old minds. There's so many old minds in that creative room. It's ridiculous. You got Briscoe, you got Patterson, who is regarded as one of the greatest minds of all time, but he needs to step away and let younger talent like a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels or Road Dogg. You need to let the Clique come back. You need to let them start booking. You need to let other people in the wrestling industry who are young, who've got intelligent minds. There's plenty of people in that WWE arena who can go over to transition into that creative side and really be able to change the way we look at professional wrestling. And they can book for modern times. But Vince McMahon is almost 80 years old.
Yeah, but don't have the Clique. Just don't have the Clique buried.
I was just going to say, the Clique is a terrible example because they put WCW in the ground.
I mean,
just Triple H and Shawn. They're doing a great job.
Triple H and Shawn. Road Dogg. Road Dogg too.
Yeah, just the Clique. I heard that they were just a cancer.
He's not part of the Clique. He's part of DX.
I heard that. I heard that the Clique. I heard the Clique was a cancer to the wrestlers back in the '90s. So, yeah, I don't think the Clique would be a good idea to have them as bookers.
Look,
anybody in Vince.
Look, what?
I'd rather have 50 members of the NWO on TV. At least if we're getting people drinking beer in the ring rather than this shit that we're watching. Ricochet getting completely buried for no reason.
Hey man, look, I'm going to say this right now. I think Vince McMahon needs to get ousted immediately. We need to have a vote. We need to get rid of him, okay? And we need somebody else. We need to take a 3 to 4 month hiatus from wrestling. We need to have a short break. Just put the best of, which there's not many of, on Raw and SmackDown, and then we can move forward after.
They'll give you a best of last year.
That actually be a really good idea. Yeah, if they postpone it to WrestleMania, they should just not run an actual show until WrestleMania on the road to WrestleMania again, and they just redo everything.
Well, what they could do also is they could have matches on SmackDown too, WrestleMania matches if they know too.
Yeah.
I mean, or Raw.
Anything but what's going on now, and I feel bad for the guys saying that, but it is just this underutilization of talent.
Frustrating.
The burying of people for no reason. I mean, Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, multiple others. They go Braun Strowman to be example. He's been buried multiple years now. Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro. You know, I remember I talked about like with the Royal Rumble. It'd be great to see Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar throws him out in like 10 seconds. It's like what the man? Like, you know,
he kept the Rumble hostage.
You know? That was actually a great Rumble. I'm just saying specifically with a certain amount of these guys, like, why are we burying them for no reason?
So, here's the thing. Also, I gotta put the blame on these superstars, too, in some way, shape, or form, because you know when something sucks, and now with AEW being around, and you're seeing the creative freedom that they have over there, you need to go up to Vince, and you need to go up to these writers and say, hey, man, I'm not doing this. I said this the last time with the whole Bray Wyatt losing to Goldberg. Yeah, it's okay, you sandbagged him, that's fantastic, but you still look bad because you lost the title. If you believe that it's the right decision to not lose or to not get booked a certain way. I mean, Vince McMahon made some dude because he looks like a rat actually be a rat on NXT. He made Connor do that. Some one of those guys, okay? And he said we had the Attitude Era, now we got the Ratitude Era. Like, how bad is that?
Who is it?
I think it was Connor or somebody, something. Somebody
the guy from
Connor Yeah, I think one of them had it.
He said
he looked like
oh,
a rat.
that's funny. Yeah. Well, I like that. That's
he was
funny.
a rat. But that's
those guys were
embarrassing.
terrible.
But the guy went along and did it because these superstars, these people, you get manipulated under that Vince McMahon fairy dust.
Puke.
He throws that Natalia having a farting gimmick. Mickey James, people joking about her weight. You just throw that thing out there. He just throws that thing. Oh, you'll get over, pal. You'll get over. And you get manipulated, and then you look at your paycheck and you wonder why you're getting manipulated in your pay too.
You know, a lot of these wrestlers, yeah, there is a little bit of blame, but I think that they just come here as a job because a lot of these wrestlers, like ourselves in the everyday lives, how many of us do we stand up to our bosses and actually say, I'm not doing this? Like, hell no, what are you doing? Or, I mean, there's been many times where...
if it's the right thing, you gotta stand up to. I've done it.
If it's like if it's harassment, I get it. But if it's like...
Well, it's okay. I don't think that's comparable, though, because this has been multiple years of just complete bullshit that doesn't make any sense. The company being run into the ground. Their paychecks are going to get less because the stockholders are going to be... You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a little bit different. I say, I don't know why any of these wrestlers, anybody that signed any of these contracts should shut their mouth. Because if you really want to say, you know, people like the OC, who were threatening to leave and would have had an absolute spot in AEW more than likely because
they signed a 5-year deal.
Because they gave him like double the money and gave him like somewhat creative control on stuff. And it's like, but you still know it's like PG and it sucks. You know, what the OC's not doing anything. AJ Styles is wrestling the Undertaker. The OC loses every match.
You know what I hate though? These people who sign this deal and they know they get booked like crap and they get booked like crap and then they complain like Shinsuke.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that shit.
They go on Twitter and like, come on, don't be a millennial wrestler. Stand up to Vince. Just tell him this is BS or I want to go back to NXT.
Well, Shinsuke can't because he can't speak English. So unfortunately, he probably just got lost in shuffle and Sammy isn't actually his person. Same with Asuka. God, is Asuka and Kairi Sane suck too.
Why have a freaking women's
They buried her. They buried Asuka, Kairi Sane. They've buried like Becky, Sasha Banks.
After Oscar?
Holy shit.
Damn.
Like,
oh man.
We need to end this podcast because we're kind of going on
Dude, is there anything good that we like with WWE?
Edge and Randy Orton.
Okay.
I mean,
Edge and Randy Orton and what will we say?
AJ and Undertaker.
AJ and Undertaker.
I mean,
but not.
Yeah, I agree.
To an extent, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're kind of ruining the mythology of the Undertaker too because of the whole thing with him calling him Mark Calloway and his
I don't mind that.
Okay, he's not really dead. He's alive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that, but at the same time, AJ Styles, he wants to get the heel hate and he wants to make it personal. And in a way to make it personal, to make this feud more personal and more spice things up, is just to add some realism to this. If you want to make your feud realistic and heel, you're going to have to poke at some of the things, especially a guy like Undertaker,
Yeah, it's at least like creative enough to where it's gonna get you behind it. And AJ Styles and Undertaker is not, although it's kind of see through what might happen. At least if AJ is gonna be like, maybe we'll get some good promos out of this. Maybe Undertaker will kind of come out of character, which would be awesome, right? It'd be better than like the Undertaker kind of everybody knowing that he's not really this mythical. First, he can't even hit a chokeslam properly. Can barely he's not mythical. So AJ Styles has an actual point.
I actually want to hear from what Undertaker has to say to fire back.
Yeah,
because that would actually make me more interested from hearing from Undertaker or Mark Calloway or what he wants to go by, fire back and answer back to AJ Styles.
Yeah, no, true. But so hopefully our next podcast. I don't know when we're going to do our next one. We'll probably be talking. We'll be hopefully talking about if WrestleMania is postponed. That will be likely you and me at least, maybe Jesse. You probably won't be able to be on that. You're going to be. It depends on what time, but it's going to be. Arcade Jamie might not be there, but that may be your next content. But hopefully it gets better. We know AEW's going to be fine with us. UFC.
And fans out there, if you don't want to watch WWE, there's NWA Wrestling. Yeah. There's Impact Wrestling as well. There's Ring of Honor.
AEW, support your local independents.
Amateur Wrestling Hollywood.
Bar wrestling is dope.
They're in every city. So every big city, there's a professional wrestling company.
Yeah, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, let's turn this around, guys. Like if you're not a fan of WWE, we're gonna watch it because we have to keep up on it. Unfortunately,
I have to keep the network because he told me to.
Yeah.
There's many
if the network
alternatives.
Starts making its pay-per-views, though, it goes out the door.
There's many alternatives out there. It doesn't have to be NWE. There's like the wrestling names that we've...
Yeah, but our hope is that WWE gets back to at least what it was last year. In some ways. I mean, at least that. Because the Becky Ronda Rousey thing was awesome
at the beginning. Then they ruined it when they added Charlotte Flair.
But it still was a good... It's still the build.
They don't know how to get out of their own way, man.
It essentially kind of built for Charlotte this year, but nobody cares. That's the problem. Because nobody cares about anything except for Edge and Randy Orton. Because those guys
just put that as the main event.
Honestly.
Just put that as the main event.
I see that's the second to last
one.
The co-main event, I guess.
Yeah. God, it's going to be Goldberg and Roman Reigns.
No, it will be. I think it will be Drew McIntyre.
Or at least McIntyre.
Rumble, I think he'll be.
For McIntyre, it's more poetic for him because he came back from 10 years of, from starting on SmackDown and then leaving, going to the Independents, coming back, and then him winning the championship. That's a story that can be told from Drew McIntyre. No,
and that's the story they are telling, and it is believable that he can beat Brock Lesnar, and he will beat Brock Lesnar, hopefully. I mean, I
wouldn't be so sure.
Last year's WrestleMania, again, they did a good job of kind of making the fans satisfied, right? And so this year, at least with the bad booking, let's make us all satisfied. If it does happen on time. But it's been the podcast once again. Me and Eric will actually promote this time.
Oh, really?
RKJ Man's gone insane.
Yes,
he has gone insane.
The podcast is sponsored by Lysol. Wash your hands, guys. Let's have this stuff. Let's get over this stuff.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, wash your genitalia.
If it's not real, then let's be told it's not real, too, because I'm kind of over it.
Okay, wash your hands.
I'm done with this. I want to see the March Madness. I want to see...
Take a shower.
This whole thing is dirty.
I want to see everything. I want to see my soccer games. I want to see... I want to see wrestling. I just want everything to get back to normal.
Take a shower.
Please take a shower.
Lysol, shout us out.
They'll smell.
And put some baby powder as well, if you have to.
Yeah, some baby powder?
Yeah, remember you said that about Black Easter?
In honor of WWE's booking sucking, this is what I want to do to the booking committee. Let's clean up a little bit. It's dirty. It sucks.
You used it up, Ryan.
It sucks. The booking.
You already used it up, dude.
I used it all up, man. I'm sick and tired of these people getting me sick, and I'm tired of WWE booking. But I tell you what's always great: Ring General's comments. Ring General's content. Like, comment, and subscribe. But always raise a glass in the sky and salute the Ring Generals. But wash your hands.
It's the Sauce, Alexander, and you're watching the Ring General Podcast. Turn this man around. Turn this man around. Subscribe, like, and comment.
But raise a glass in the sky and salute the ring generals.
That's right. That's right.